Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jens Pateo and I'm going to do another card pull today, as I've been doing them almost every week. So I pull a card and I see what is the theme for the coming week for the collective. So let's start to shuffle. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as I'm shuffling, I also want to mention that Meg and me, we have a retreat coming up in Algonquin Park in June. The description is available in the link if you're interested. So let's pull a card, a random one. It's in the moment. I don't know which card I'm going to pull. Let's see. Ooh. Trust the timing. Very interesting one. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. I feel like this is really related to a lot of awake people that are, awake to what's happening in the world, to the conspiracies, to the manipulation. And all these people are asking themselves, when is change really going to happen? When is it going to get better? Because all we see sometimes is the agenda moving forward. I mean, I'm seeing it myself too. I just shared a story about a farmer, a friend of mine, friend's family, who is forced to close down their business because of these, EO2 carbon dioxide rules, the net zero agenda. They're forced to close down their meat farming practices, their business. That's also why I ask myself, when is it enough? When is it going to stop? And this card is saying, trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Because a lot of people, that's a very apt card, I think, for the energies of this week. And, especially the more awake people that are aware of the manipulations, is that there is a timing to everything. There is a timing to waking up. You can't wake people up out of timing. It doesn't happen. And I think everybody has had that. If you try to wake up family members who are not ready for it, you can blast them with so much information as you want. They're not going to wake up. They're not going to want to know. They're just going to look at it. It's not going to register. Awakening is an inside job, to stay in the terminology, because nobody can wake you up. Nobody external can wake you up. It comes from the soul. It's a kind of a soul awakening. That's very, very important. And so this card says, trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. We've known as souls, before we came in, before we incarnated here, what we would have to go through, what we would have to experience. And, sometimes our human egos, want to be like, when is it going to come? I want disclosure. I want anything. But there is a timing to everything. You cannot force it. Just as you cannot force it with other people waking up, so you cannot force the waking up of humanity. You cannot force, these old structures. You can help, tear these old structures down by pushing, awake information. But there is a rhyme and a reason to everything, and it requires us to trust, to go into deep trust of the process we're in. That's a very spiritual practice. Is deeply trust the process we're in. Trust that life, in the end, always gets it right. Very, very important. There is as I've been saying in the talks that in the lectures that I'm giving, there is a divine plan unfolding. We got to trust the divine plan. So, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very deeply spiritual cards, and deeply important, especially to the awake community out there. So I hope you guys got something out of that. I really got something out of that. It's really interesting, and it reminded me also to trust, to be able to deeply trust in life and what's happening. Because when you deeply trust life will more support you. So thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you next week for another card pull. Thank you. Bye-bye.